again and welcome to ESPN Honolulu's Fan Friday Talk Story. And this week, as we're getting closer to the start of the men's basketball season for the University of Hawaii, well, it's only appropriate. We get to have a chat with one of the new members of the basketball team, also named as a captain, one of the players that you'll hear a lot that has actually graduated from another school and has transferred over here. So we're happy to be joined by Jerome, and let's see if we're going to get it right on the first try. Desrosiers, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
Oh, well, Jerome, thanks again for taking some time for being a part of our Fan Friday Talk Story. So let me just kind of
My pleasure.
catch myself up a little bit, because you have had the career that I think is getting more popular with college athletes now with the ability to transfer. You started off at Princeton,
Yep.
had graduated there, but because of the pandemic season last season, the Ivy League canceled the season. So you had another year of eligibility, and hence you graduated. You had the opportunity to transfer here. You're in a master's program and playing one more year of eligibility. I want to ask this first off, is that when that season happened last year where it was canceled, so you knew you had one more year of eligibility, was it kind of like, and you knew you're going to graduate, was it kind of like, if I find something I'll want to play? Or were you like, I got one more year, I want to play? How was it for you?
I think it was a mix of both, honestly. There was part of me that was thinking maybe, do I go play pro right away? Even do I get a job, a normal job? Is this really the end of my, college career? And then after kind of throwing my name in the portal, obviously looking at my options, Hawaii came up, and I thought it was the best scenario for me to kind of finish my career here. So I mean, obviously when that opportunity came, it wasn't too hard of a decision.
Now, you're in a graduate program. What kind of program are you in here at University of Hawaii?
I'm doing a master's in marketing. Yeah.
And you got your degree in Princeton in what?
I studied in anthropology with a focus on law, politics, and economics.
Now, you were also all academic Ivy League. I mean, you're into Princeton, so that's all. I always look at, if you or you hear someone that either is a student or graduate from the Ivy League, or is a student or graduate from a military academy, you kind of get this, ooh, ah. Did you get that kind of response a lot of times at parties or functions when you said, oh, where do you go? I went to Princeton. Was there a little bit of that, ooh, that hit you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it happens often just when you go to a school in the Ivy League, but honestly, it's more so the same. It is focused on academics, but honestly, when you find that balance between sports and academics, I think it's a fairly fun experience, and I think having that scheduled, you got to go to class, you got to go to the best basketball practice. It was overall just a fun experience, and you're always busy, so you don't really have time, kind of feel bored. And at the end of the day, you also feel really accomplished. And I think it's a feeling that everyone in college, and even if you don't play a sport, that you can feel just by doing your work, honestly. But you do get that kind of that reaction. But honestly, I just feel like a normal college student, really.
And Jerome, Ivy League, I believe, was the only league that just completely canceled last year. Everyone else plays. Now, everyone knows that the Ivy League, when you go there, even as a student athlete, it's heavy academic priority. But you're an athlete and you're a competitor. Did it still suck to find out that the season was canceled?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when it's your senior year, you really want to finish the year off at your school, obviously. But with the ways things were going with the COVID, with the pandemic, I don't want to say we were expecting it, but we were ready for it. We were ready for the season to be canceled. And that was kind of the smart thing, I think, to do, the smart way to think about it. Expect for it to be canceled, maybe be surprised and have it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, which sucked. But then again, it gave me this opportunity to come here and finish my career here. And we made it the best year, even without basketball there at Princeton. So I really enjoyed my whole experience there, for sure.
We're talking with Jerome Desrosiers, and the sound of your last name, because you're from Quebec, in our great neighbors north in Canada. Now, I'm not going to even try this, but can you tell me the hometown? Because it's very hard for me.
Yeah, I'm from Saint-Hyacinthe, to Frenchtown, about 35 minutes outside of Montreal. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a little Canada 101 because I really need this. I'm one of those people, I bet a lot of us, we all think, yeah, we know about Canada, but we really don't. So maybe I said, okay, I'm going to talk to Jerome. Let's get some interest. Yeah. Now, what's the connection with the French language? Because I was reading that in Quebec, if there's one province of Canada that the
Yeah.
French language is most kind of prevalent there, what's the connection with that?
Well, I mean, in the history, and again, this is going back far to my swing, but when I was in Canada. But I think when the French colonizer came, they actually came through the Saint Laurent River to bring, to kind of colonize the country, and that's where it kind of stayed, that language, that French kind of culture. So it's actually spread a little more to the west as well. No, sorry, the east in Canada, to other provinces, mainly French is in Quebec for sure, the province of Quebec, which is awesome, which is my first language, and it's a beautiful language. There are laws protecting the language in Quebec, and I think it's really important that we keep that culture for sure.
So you don't even have an accent. It doesn't even sound like you have an accent at all. Is that kind of common? Like even if you're raised in Quebec, like you said, French is your first language, but because you're learning English at the same time, most people don't have that kind of accent?
It's a little different for me. I left home when I was 15 to go to prep school in Massachusetts, and that's where I kind of learned most of my English. So I kind of lost my French accent, unfortunately, which was kind of charming a little bit. But I lost my accent pretty quickly, actually, when I first came to the States. I think I would say that people probably get confused when I go home and I speak English. They're like, "Ooh, where are you from?" And I'm like, I'm from this French town, Saint-Hyacinthe. But it's interesting. I think the language is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that I have this, the luck to speak both for sure.
So in Canada, like here in the States, we call them states. In Canada, it's called provinces. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
There's provinces and territories as well up north. Northwest Territory and even the Yukon. Yeah, but
goodness.
It's a lot of provinces than states. So it's easier. The geography when we had to learn it in school was a lot easier than America for sure. But I know that our president or prime minister, that's what it's called in Canada, is still Trudeau. But we'll see. It might change soon. With elections coming up.
Oh yeah, I think everybody's leaders are in flux after these past couple of years.
Oh yeah.
You talked about you actually moved to the United States when you were a teenager. So you've had some transitions you've had to go through in a relatively short time. So you went at 15 from Quebec and gosh, can you say your hometown again?
Saint-Hyacinthe.
I'm not gonna get it.
You don't have to say it.
From there, you went to, is it Gale, Massachusetts?
Yep.
Right. So at 15 years old, that's kind of a big move, different country, learning English more so than you had before. Then you went from Massachusetts to college, and athletically, academically, and not just any college, high Ivy League, high challenging academics. And then you just made this one from Princeton. Now you come all the way across the Pacific, across the country from the East Coast to a bunch of islands in the Pacific. Different points in your life, but there are significant transitions. Which one was kind of the more, I don't know, you want to say challenging or the most interesting for you?
Challenging was probably when I first came to America. I mean, I did speak English. I did learn at school, and I had basketball tournaments, on weekends in the States. But I don't think I understood how I guess how much English I'd have to speak. I don't know. I didn't really understand. And then I remember my first English class. We had a paper to write, and I thought I was killing it. I wrote it, I handed it in, and I got my grade, and it was a C-.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a rough year. And that was in the first week I got there. Again, I was good in English, so I didn't get to put, I got put right into with other English speaker students. So it was a really hard class for me. But over that kind of 2-3 month period, I got really, really good. And then as you can hear, I kind of lost my accent as well, which that was definitely the hardest. Most interesting, I mean, every place I've been was interesting for sure. Obviously, the farthest jump was from going from the East Coast to Hawaii. in, honestly. I think, it makes me want to travel even more in my future. So it's been an awesome journey for sure.
Oh, terrific. So you come here, you're excited to play, you're one more year of eligibility, you're a graduate student, you're a more mature young man. What, and you've not, haven't been here that, because when did you come to Hawaii? What month?
It was end of June.
End of June? Okay, so
Yeah.
just, has there been, or what has been kind of the first thing you either saw, was told to, or heard where you realize, oh, this place is different?
Well, honestly, people here are always happy, always in a good mood. And I feel like, probably having a couple beaches not too far away probably helps. And it's honestly, I also think it's just the weather in general. I kind of felt like after a hard practice, sometimes you come out of the gym, you're beat up, you kind of felt feeling a little tired, but then you walk out and it's beautiful, sunny, you see a rainbow. There's nothing else that makes you feel better, I think. And you really feel that from everybody. The sense of family as well from everyone, the community, everybody's close, everybody likes each other, which is awesome, honestly. It's been a really good experience. And it makes me excited to live here for even longer, honestly. So I think that's the biggest thing for sure.
Oh, wow. That's great to know. Jerome Desrosiers here joining us here on Fan Friday Talk Story on ESPN Honolulu on our Facebook program, as well as on our website. Dave Kawada here with you. One more question that I have related to Princeton that I could never get. Who is Princeton's rival? Because there's Harvard, Yale.
Yep.
Who was the rival for Princeton that you just wanted to beat the heck out of them?
For us, every year was a big rivalry between UPenn, for sure.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, so it was 45 minutes away, and every time we had to play them, it was a good fight, sure.
Now you're here in Hawaii. You got named captain. Any benefits with being captain? Do you get a bigger locker? You're going to get a little C on your jersey. First in line for the meal. I don't know, anything like that.
No, I don't think so. I think we're just part of the team. We're just at the same level as players. We have that responsibility, but honestly, we're all the same.
You have been kind of also in your basketball career, you had the chance to play internationally. As a under 16, you represented Team Canada. So I would think you have been kind of compared to maybe other teammates at the University of Hawaii, are you kind of the more, I don't know if the word experience is the word, but have played in the most diverse environments of basketball? Because you had international play as a youth, you had high school on the mainland, you had already college experience, and then here. Would you say you kind of have the most diverse playing experience?
That's a good question. I think I wouldn't say I'm the most experienced, but I think we all have the different experiences, honestly, and bringing it together makes it like even better as a team. I was lucky enough to play for Team Canada, and I got to travel a little bit because of that, which was awesome. But I think that being old also means that I've played a lot of basketball, being one of the oldest guys on the team. But it's also great to have kind of mix and match of every kind of people on the team.
When you say you're one of the oldest, I mean, how old are you? 23?
Yeah, I'm 23. I'm almost 24. November 2nd. Yeah.
So who's the next oldest on the team after you?
I think it's Juan Munoz. I think he's also 23.
Oh, okay. Do you guys get any gas from these younger guys who are 19 and 20 calling you Gramps or anything like that?
Yeah, I've always been called, an older guy, just the way I look. I've had this beard since I was probably like 16, 17. So everybody
really?
thought I was, everybody thought I was old. I'm used to it. I like it. I don't mind being the dad or whatever it is. It's always a good time.
So you've been to different places. You've experienced lots of things already, even though you might be old on the team. You're a young man at 23, but it's like, what are kind of your interests off the court? What is stuff that you engage with?
My free time, I actually play guitar a lot. I've been playing for almost, I think, over 10 years for sure. And I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. So I've actually, the way I actually learned English was listening to music. My sixth grade teacher actually showed us songs from the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Queen even. So that was kind of the way we first started learning English. And I kind of kept that going for my whole life. And then obviously that sparked my interest in playing guitar, trying to learn all their songs. And even now, I try to collect their guitars, which not obviously the vintage, not the same ones they use, but the same models, same kind of brands and all that stuff. Obviously, it's not a cheap
No.
kind of thing to do. So that in the future, I'm looking forward to maybe having more money and trying to get those more expensive guitars. But this is what I do when I have free time. I love superheroes, Mario, and on top of that is I'm a huge fan of Legos in general. So I do a lot of that in my free time. It's kind of my quiet time, honestly. I just put on headphones, listen to podcasts, build some Lego models, and it's my happiness, my place of happiness for sure.
Okay, now I believe you kind of broke up a little bit, but did you say you're a fan of superheroes just before you said Legos?
Yeah.
And you like Marvel movies? Was that it?
Oh yeah, I love Marvel movies.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we are in line right here because I'm going to ask you two things. One is related to your music and your fandom of the Beatles. Did you see that movie yesterday?
I have. Yep, I did.
What did you think of that one? 'Cause I thought that was a creative way of incorporating this iconic culture of the Beatles into this rather kind of funny story. What did you think of that movie?
No, for sure. I thought exactly what you said. It's a funny. It's a great way to kind of show maybe younger fans, people that haven't heard of it, and kind of show that songs really change history, really, in the music, but even just in the world in general. And there's a funny twist at the end too that you don't really expect it. I think that with I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not gonna say, but it's a really good movie. I think I was very happy and reminded me of my when I was learning those songs too. So it was I really enjoyed that movie.
By the way, guitar, are you self-taught or did you take lessons?
I took lessons a little bit at the beginning, just to learn like small theory, maybe more the chords, all that stuff. And then after that, I kind of learned on my own. But obviously with YouTube now, you can learn anything. So I spent a lot of time on YouTube watching old videos of the Beatles playing their songs themselves, and then people teaching them. So I've done that for, like I said, 10 years now.
So, well, I can't let you go without asking what's your favorite Beatles song?
Oh, that's a hard question to answer. I love my favorite album was always it's really between Please Please Me and A Hard Day's Night. So earlier in the Beatles I guess career, when they were starting to make music, but I'm also a fan of when they got older and kind of more in the experimental kind of genre for sure. But honestly, that's a really hard question. I'm probably have to say I love Blackbird. That's always the first song I play on any guitar that I pick up. But you could play any of them and I know them by heart.
Boy, if you tell your teammates you're a fan of the Beatles, I mean, considering that they broke up way before you were even born, I mean, you're going to get those dad, grandpa kind of hazing even more so. You said you like Legos. So what is your most prized thing you ever made and created?
Oh, wow.
Something that maybe you put on that shelf, say, that's one of my best pieces of work.
Yeah. Well, recently, I told you I was a fan of superheroes, Marvel movies, but even DC movies. So I've always been a fan of Batman as well. And recently, I actually built the 1986 Batmobile. It recently came out, so it's a replica of it, which I have at home. And I even have the Batwing that I can actually hang on my wall. So I've had that as well. And then again, coming out soon is actually the more recent, the Tumbler, the Batman. If you've seen the movie. Drive around in a huge tumbler. It's a huge vehicle, an armored vehicle that's coming out soon. So I'm probably have to get that one as well.
By the way, have you been watching some of that Marvel streaming movies?
I have, yes. And I've just finished the What If episodes on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not Marvel, but I really recommend them. I think it's a really good twist on what happened. The Marvel, the MCU, and
it's a little darker. Their story's a little darker on What If, and it's kind of like kind of hits you a little bit. So I had to take some pause. Yeah,
no, for sure. Some you don't expect that from superheroes. It's like I said, it's a little darker. You don't have the endings that you expect for, but again, it's a fun way to experiment with that universe.
Tell us a little snippet about the team. I know it's very early, just started fall practice, but what's the vibe? How's it going? For you as well as for the gelling of the program.
The quick thing to say is we all like each other. We hang out together, and you can feel that in the way we play. Everybody works hard all the time, which is very impressive. I mean, I've been on a lot of teams, and I can say that this team loves to play, loves to fight, and we really have that common objective of winning. Really, and you can feel that. Like I said, I know I was named captain, but it's so easy to do it with this team because like I said, we all have that common goal, and it feels just like I support them more than lead them. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has that leadership quality in them, which I think everybody will enjoy, and I think it'll be fun to watch this year for sure.
Oh, terrific! And by the way, how would you describe your game? Like, are you 6'7", 6'6", 6'7",
Yep.
6'8"?
6'7", yep.
What's kind of your game, your forte?
Well, I like to think of myself, since I'm a little older, a little more mature, I like to think of myself as more a slower paced guy that always tries to make the right read and get his teammates involved. But I can also shoot 3 points, 3-point shots and be physical in the paint. I think I go for every rebound, try to get as many touches for our offense as possible.
All right, now we're going to do a little game. So this is a quick response game. And since it's basketball, I call it fast break, right? Fast break. Okay, anyway. I'm going to throw these basic questions out at you. Just give a response top of your head. Okay. I mean, this is no time Jeopardy thing. So, but you get the idea. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So here we go. Ready for fast break. Here we go. First one, favorite basketball player?
Kevin Love.
Oh, okay. I love him. If you were not a basketball player, you would be playing what?
Probably hockey, honestly.
The Canada roots. There you go. Okay.
That's right.
What is a phrase or word that your head coach, Arang Danat, always says?
He always says, "You got me." Like whenever he's explaining something, he always says, "You got it? You got me? You following?"
Okay. And is everybody still looking at him like, what?
Sometimes.
Okay. The next one. You usually have cravings to eat?
Chips. Always. Any kind.
Spicy hot jalapeno?
I love that. Yeah. My girlfriend and I can finish a bag in one sitting.
Okay. Burger King, Jack in the Box, or McDonald's?
Oh, McDonald's.
Okay.
Yep.
Watching live TV or streaming TV?
Oh, stream TV. Yeah.
Is there any special thing you are binging on or would like to binge watch when you have free time?
I used to watch The Office on repeat all the time, but now they've taken it off Netflix. So we actually binge watch Forensic Files.
Oh, wow!
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, my mother would love you. Okay. Continuing on fast break. Oh, I think I know the answer to this. What are the songs of the artists on your playlists?
Oh, it's always obviously the Beatles, but I'm also into country rock. So any songs by Chris Stapleton, Brothers Osborne, and then obviously that mix with the Beatles, Queen, sometimes the Rolling Stones. Yeah.
Wow, I love that diversity. Love it. Which teammate on the University of Hawaii basketball team would you pick to be your partner to enter the amazing race?
Probably Mate. He's a physical specimen. He's a 7 feet tall man that can run a mile in under 5 minutes. So I think he'd be a great teammate.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one is Halloween is coming up. You would want to dress up as?
Oh, that's a good question. Any superhero, honestly. Anything related to superhero. I would love to do a twist on Captain. I'd love to do a twist on Captain America, but actually do Captain Canada. I think it'd be fun.
That's a good one. You got the logo of the
shield,
Canada on the shield, right?
That's right.
What is that logo called?
You mean just a leaf? It's just a maple leaf.
Oh, Maple Leaf. Hello, Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's okay.
Okay, good. Thank you for playing fast break. Now, as a tall individual, I'm sure you've heard your gamut of comments and things related to being the tallest person in the room most times, right? You're six
Yeah,
foot
yeah,
seven, 6'8". What is the lamest thing you ever had told to you or asked of you because you are the tallest person in the room?
I mean, I always hear like, "Oh my God, I feel short. Oh my God, he's so tall." But I think whenever someone's asked like whether, I never know what to say. I'm always, I think it's a funny but also not really funny comment to make. But I always laugh trying to say something funny back at them.
Oh, good. So you mentioned that the team is kind of gelling, getting to know each other, getting ready, and everyone has a great attitude. I mean, I can't imagine for you it must be more so exciting because you didn't play last year. I mean, you've had a year off. Put us in the frame of you looking at this season. Everyone's excited, but for you, is there any more of a energy pulse just pulsating in you for this?
I mean, yeah, it's been over. I think we did the math the other day, but it's been over 500 days since I played basketball in a game setting. So I think the excitement just comes from there. Honestly, the last game, the after we played our last game, and we thought we were going to the Ivy League tournament, and then it got canceled. And we kind of have that either not, I wouldn't say rage, but kind of that will to win and to fight again for our team. So it's been so long, and we've been working out for almost 2 years now. So I think this will be just a good, not reward, but a good kind of a bow on my college career.
Well, I'm definitely sure the fans will love watching you and the rest of the team. The coaching staff and players are glad you chose Hawaii to come to play out your final year and finish out your collegiate career and hopefully a great high note. Jerome Desrosiers from, I'm just going to say, Quebec via Princeton and now at the University of Hawaii. Thanks so much for being a part of our Fan Friday Talk Story and good luck to you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.